Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As I've collected and played games for so many years now, there's always a few that stuck out to me. Ones that were so good, I couldn't quit playing them until I completely defeated them. And that's what gave me an awesome idea for an episode. This is actually going to be a two-part episode. So I want to call it 5 disc-based games that were so good, I couldn't stop playing them. The next episode, I'll do one on 5 cartridge-based games that were so good, I couldn't stop playing them. But without any further ado, let's get into the 5 awesome disc-based games that were so damn good. They've stuck with me all these years, and they're some of my favorites, and I couldn't stop playing them. So roll that motherfucking intro. So the first game I want to talk about is a game called Elden Ring. Now, let me start off by saying I'm not a huge Dark Souls fan at all, so I had no intentions of picking this game up whatsoever. But my uncle convinced me to pick it up, and let me tell you, I played the absolute shit out of this game. I got it probably on launch day, maybe a day after, but my Lanta, I put a ton of hours into this game. Probably in the first month that it was out, I dropped about 150 hours into it. This game is one of the most addicting games I've ever played. I'd get off of work and I'd come home, turn it on, I'd look up and it had been 6 hours and I had no clue time had flown by like that. This game is never boring. There's a bazillion things to do in this game. There's actually co-op, which is really cool. And just so much in this game is just so authentic. And there's tons of customization, tons of different weapons. The story is just one of my favorite stories. And like I said, I'm not a huge Dark Souls lore or anything like that. This game was made by the same developers, but it's completely different. And I've just really enjoyed this game. This is definitely gotta be one of my favorite games I've played this year. What can I say about it that hasn't been said? Insane difficulty in this game. You will play a boss 10, 20, 30 times before you even start to learn his patterns and actually damage him. This game is all about precision timing and just an overall awareness of your surroundings at all times. Even the weakest enemies can take you out in this game in like 2 seconds flat. If you play Dark Souls, you rank up your character in the exact same way and have different sets of armor and different weapons, and just this game is so involved. It's one of the most involved games I've ever played. You use every single button on the controller when you play this game too, and you gotta be on your toes. This game is relentless, but then again, it's one of my favorite games. And like I said, I wasn't a fan of this type of genre at all. But when I played Elden Ring, it was one of my favorite games, and I was enthralled with it. I had to take a break. I was literally addicted to playing this with my uncle, and I had to take a break for a long while. I didn't ever beat it, but I just wanted to do everything I could in the campaign before I beat the game. And I did so much, I just forgot to beat the game. There's so much stuff to do in this game. So if you haven't played Elden Ring, it's incredibly addicting, but incredibly rewarding. One of my favorite games of the year, and one that I couldn't stop playing, Elden Ring. The next game I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite Zelda games of all time, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Now, I'm going to be talking about the Wii U edition. In my opinion, the Wii U edition is the most complete. It's the best version, in my opinion. This game is an absolute banger. One of my favorite Zelda games of all time. Just the cel-shaded graphics in this game always caught my eye. I bought it on the GameCube the day it came out, played through it and beat it, and then I bought it the day it came out for the Wii U. In my opinion, this is a very underrated Zelda game. But when I talk about Wind Waker, most people don't enjoy this game, and that just completely blows my mind. This has some of the best cel-shaded graphics I've ever seen in a video game. The game is absolutely fantastic. Awesome boss battles. I just remember playing through this and just being so into the story. I love the sailing aspect in this game. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it didn't bother me at all. I loved going to the different islands and discovering secrets in the water and fighting things in the water. Some of my favorite boss battles are in this game, and definitely my favorite Ganon battle is in this game. Such an iconic game. For some reason, this game just always stuck with me, and I could not stop playing it when I got it for the Wii U. It looked fantastic, it played great, the updated graphics, it just completely blew me away all over again. Such a cool game. Hopefully you guys see this video, pull it off your shelf, and play it for yourself if you haven't. It's one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. In my opinion, this story is one of the best. There's never a dull moment in this game. I'm always searching for something, or I'm always finding something, or I'm always battling something, or trying to get to a new area. There's so many unique gameplay aspects in A Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. It's just one of my favorites, and I couldn't stop playing it. So hopefully you guys check it out. This is a game that I could not stop playing no matter how long I played it. I still go back to it. That's why it's one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. Hopefully you guys check it out. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. The next game I'm going to talk about is a game called Resident Evil. This game needs no introduction, but I wanted to talk about it because it's one of my favorite PS1 games, and it was a game I could not stop playing once I played it way back when it launched in 1996. Me and my cousin Travis played this game religiously when it came out. His mother's husband actually bought a PlayStation and bought this game, and we had never experienced this type of 3D environments in our entire lives. We were blown away by these primitive looking graphics by today's standards, but back then this game was unbelievable. The story was as cheesy as hell, but back then you didn't notice that shit. You just was so into the story in this game. A great twist, fantastic storytelling, awesome weapons, really awesome theme and atmosphere in this game. You're lost in the forest and you make your way to a mansion that is totally overrun by zombies and evil creatures. The bulk of the game is making your way through the mansion, opening up locked doors, fighting enemies, and trying to find all your teammates along the way. This game completely blew us away. We had no idea what to do most of the time, and I remember the first time playing it, we didn't even have a memory card. That entire weekend, we played multiple times back to back to back, and we would die and start the game all the way over just to continue playing. This game holds a special place in my heart. I know it does for my cousin Travis also, because we stayed up the entire weekend non-stop just playing this game, loading through the doors, fighting enemies, finding weapons and healing sprays, and reading files and diaries and looking for all our comrades in this crazy ass mansion. Just an iconic game. I don't know what else to say about it. I know it looks primitive now, but you got to remember in 1996 we were completely blown away by this, and it's one of my favorite games, and it's one I couldn't stop playing until we totally defeated it. The original Resident Evil for PS1. The next game I'm going to talk about is a game that came out for the PS2 on the heels of the original Metal Gear Solid, and that is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Now let me tell you right now, this game is one of my favorite games of all time. This is another game that I played the absolute shit out of with my cousin Travis. We played this game non-stop. We could not get enough of this game. The story is fantastic. It's convoluted as fuck. It's a Hideo Kojima game. So just be ready for tons of hour-long cinemas and just crazy storytelling, but don't let that deter you from playing this game. Reviews came out back in the day and they said this was an absolute 10 out of 10. In my opinion, it's damn close. This game's incredible. Some of my favorite boss battles in the Metal Gear Solid series are in this game. This game is just, I don't know what else to say about it. It's so good. The storytelling is crazy. The twist at the beginning of the game is crazy. I just playing on a PS2 back then, and this being able to be running on a PS2 totally fucking blew our minds. At the time, it looked absolutely 100% incredible. We played this so much and did everything you could do in this game. We tested everything out. We tried to find every item. We did everything you could in this game, and we stayed up night after night after night playing it. A truly epic story, fantastic soundtrack, one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. If you've played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just imagine playing the original PS1 Metal Gear Solid, and then the PS2 coming out, and then dropping this banger on us. It just totally blew our minds. I'll never forget the many long nights playing this with my cousin Travis, trying to do every single thing you could and trying to find every single thing you could in this game. We did it all, man. I'll never forget sitting in that trailer with my cousin Travis on those long winter nights way back then and playing this game together. It just totally blew us away. I don't know what else to say. This is a game that I wish they would do a remake on. I really feel like it could be even better than the original was. If you're into insanely good storytelling, even though it's crazy as fuck, and you're into awesome gameplay, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, in my opinion, is a damn near perfect game. It took the series in a direction that had never been done before. The visuals in this game were just top notch for the PS2. Even the PS2 had a hard time running this game because it was so damn good looking. So if you ever get a chance, it's another game I couldn't stop playing until we totally destroyed it. Metal Gear Solid 2. Well, I saved the best for last. The last game I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite games of all time. I played it for the Xbox 360, and that game is called Bioshock. This game absolutely blew my fucking mind when it came out. It was an early Xbox 360 title. It came out in 2007. I went to GameStop one day. I was just looking to pick up a game. I seen this sitting on the shelf. I knew fucking nothing about it. I was all about online multiplayer at the time. So I seen that this game was primarily a single player experience. I wasn't too happy about that, but I said, you know what? I'm going to try it out. Fuck it. There's not much out right now. Let's try it out. I took it home. Long story short, this is in my top 10 favorite games of all time. In my opinion, this game's a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. The story is one of the best stories I've ever experienced in a video game, period. One of the best twists I've ever experienced in a video game, period. The premise of the game is you're in a plane and you have a crash landing in the middle of the ocean. As you're going down, you unbuckle yourself and you somehow get out of your plane and you swim up to the surface. You're surrounded by fire, but you see off in the distance some type of land monument in the middle of the ocean, sitting on top of the water. So you swim up to it, a door opens, and that starts this incredible experience. And the game is about a place called Rapture, which is underneath in the ocean, but it's a living, breathing city. I can't do this game justice. If you've never played this game, get your ass up. It's pennies on the dollar to get. Find a way to play this. There's multiple versions. There's even one for the Switch that has all 3 games, I'm pretty sure. But this, in my opinion, is the best Bioshock game ever made. The story is so good. I did not want to put this game down. I got every single achievement in this game on the Xbox 360. All 1,100 achievement points. This was one of the first games that actually had more than 1,000 achievement points. I played this nonstop. Every time somebody tells me that they want an awesome single-player experience, this is my go-to that I tell them. Bioshock. The game is incredible. When you make your way into Rapture, you somehow find different powers that you can insert into your body through a syringe. And there's many different powers. One is like telekinesis. Another is where you can, your hand like actually freezes things when you throw ice balls at stuff. You can throw fire out of your hands. Whatever toxin you put in is the one that you will be using, and you can decimate the competition with. This game's great. I don't know what else to say about it. If it's in my top 10 games of all time, not top 10 disc-based games, top 10 all-time games, this game is on it. Play this game. Enough said. That's all I gotta say about it. Play this fucking game. It's a 10 out of 10. The original Bioshock.
Well, there you go. There's 5 awesome disc-based games that were so damn good, I couldn't put them down once I started playing them. If you have any memories of these games right here, or any other games that you think I should play, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as my good friend always said, would you kindly keep on reminiscing, baby? What's going on, y'all? I just want to take a short moment to talk about my buddy Sean. He sells vintage G.I. Joe and other vintage figures at the conventions around here, and I think you should get a hold of him if you're looking to buy some figures. All 100% complete, all authentic weapons, file cards, and figures. No reproduction stuff here. He's super affordable, insane quality, and I've been buying from him for years now, and I mean, I've gotten almost all my figures from him. So if you guys want to get a hold of him, he doesn't have any social media, reach out to me and I can get you in touch with him, because these things are only getting more and more expensive. So if you're wanting to build your awesome G.I. Joe collection, make sure you hit me up and I'll get you in touch. Take it easy, y'all.